All right, y'all, it is Friday, February 7th, and this was supposed to be just a little quick talk post, and I rambled on, so here we are. All right, this one is for my headliners. I know I'm one of the speculators. I'm one that likes to share news, and then I share my take, my opinion, my rabbit holes, darling. But this one is for the folks who try to keep it straight, and I respect y'all, and I love y'all. But sometimes there comes a time, a once in a lifetime, I mean, you know, we are where we are, where alarms have to be sounded, where if you saw that movie, the movie Civil War, and that perspective, right, of the journalists, where they're not intervening, they're just recording, they're just taking photos. It's not on them to help anyone that needs help. If they see someone suffering, don't touch. If they see something they can do, don't say anything. If they see someone in danger, don't warn them. Just take a photo. And while I understand that and I understand that for a lot of folks on here, that it's just the facts, ma'am. I get it. I respect it. But without polarity, just looking at the facts and the trajectory, what has happened and what's going to happen, just read the book and really ask yourself if that all sounds like something that is going to go away in 2 or 4 years, as long as everyone follows the rules. If this sounds like something that is being set up, but they'll walk away from it if they lose next time. If this whole thing seems like something that can be stopped by these courts. I mean, it hasn't so far, despite any rulings they're doing. They're doing whatever they can. People can't access funds for food. People can't access funds for Medicaid or Head Start. It's not hitting everywhere all at once, but it's trickling. And someone has control of all of it. So they're actually bringing the schmozzy kids back. They're rehiring with the White House's blessing. Couchman came out specifically to say, yes, please bring back this person who was fired for being Ray Ray. They also brought someone who was fired for not being able to keep company secrets. They're bringing them back to work on our stuff. Okay? At this point, they're just spitting in our faces. They're spitting in our faces. So sometimes you have to say something, and I won't say what you have to say because that's not my place. However you want to do it so that it doesn't feel biased to you in any way. But the bottom line is silence is complicitness. Reporting the constant headlines is just as bad as producing the constant bombardment if it's never going to be broken up with the reality of, hey, this is a problem. This is this is not normal. This is not okay. This is not something that should be normalized. These things are illegal, illegitimate, and no one seems to be doing anything, and people need to be talking about how to resolve that without help. I don't know how you want to portray that. Not up to me to tell you. But sometimes, like I said on my podcast and to other folks before, if you ever sat in school and when you learned about horrible times throughout history, if you sat there and said to yourself, I would never do that. I would not be silent. I would fight for my friends. I would fight for this. I would not. We don't want to be in a historic situation like that, but we are. So this is how it happens. It happens by not wanting to ruffle feathers. It happens by not wanting to fearmonger. It happens by wanting to trust the process when very obviously the flawed process has been completely exploited openly. And we're still just like, okay, I guess that's also fine. You know how many people are going to lose their jobs soon? Do you know what is about to happen? To not say anything, the lives, that's the magical camp. People aren't coming back. And when they're done sending, they'll start picking everyone else. Disabilities, the women they don't want, the other ethnicities, just, you know, whoever, political dissidents, influencers they don't like. We'll all get a one-way trip. Like they're doing it now already. They legalized it and are doing it. We're paying for it. It's happening. They're setting up political faith offices to that believe that the person behind the desk is a hand of the deity that cannot be denied. To do so is denying the deity. They're not kidding. Do not take it lightly. It's not a joke for them. It's a joke to us. But that's where their support is. Their support is with the bloodlust cult. The support is with the cult of criminals that have uplifted themselves to some sort of righteousness, not because they've honestly become better people, but because they found a get out of jail free card club. And there is a difference. You can become a better person. I'm not saying that all those with faith aren't good people or can't be, that sort of thing. But that's me tapping my fingers. I don't know if y'all can hear it. This was gonna be short, and I was gonna post it on the talk for my folks I'm mutuals with that tend to just be news. But now that I'm rambling, it'll probably just be a podcast episode, because I don't know how else to impress everything that I see to people. And I think a lot of us neurofeisties with pattern recognition, and anyone who's read through history, anyone from a marginalized community already has an idea of how ugly this can get. Like, they're already going after everything. The national bans for, the things are going after gay marriage, equal rights, going after the ability for freedom of speech and freedom of the press so that they can just sue people for mentioning them. So that essentially everyone's too scared to say anything, and the only people that can talk are their controlled channel. Like, these aren't jokes. They're not playing around. Yes, the executive orders are a blitz, and it's frustrating, and some of it's silly, but make no mistake, everything that they put out there is something they're trying to do. Even the things that are being fought in courts are things that they're doing it anyway. The courts aren't stopping it. And I don't know how to further kind of slap people awake other than to get through to the channels of folks who have the millions plus audiences that I do not, that can say, hey, without giving any specific, you have to go do this, you have to do something. You have to do something. The legislators are not doing anything. Team Red, even the ones that are supposed to be worried about what's happening, are still going to back it up. Whatever is going on over there is full cult. They're all on board. They've been confirming, they're putting Ruski assets in, it's wild. And Team Blue is like I said on one of my other posts, just making up legislation for things that are minor or part of it or a piece of it 3 and 4 days too late anyway. And it's just frustrating to watch it all at the same time. But at the end of the day, something has to be done, and it's going to be the folks. I think once the folks start, that other folks would pop in, folks who are like, what about the military, or like people with oaths? I think that, they might be some kind of reinforcement, but I think it really is going to have to start in the streets. I think someone's going to have to go out there and show these people how to open some fucking doors, how to sit in some fucking buildings, how to deal with some fucking rent-a-cops, how to, it's just, I don't understand if that many people just think they're not going to be affected by it. Like, farmers are being affected. The amount of federal employees that are going to be let go when they put this AI in place, it's like going to be everyone. This crash is going to be so bad, and I think folks don't see it. And they're going to dissolve the Democratic Party. They're going to make some weird sect of the religion. It's just, and they're going to dissolve education. Like, they're just getting rid of unions, anything that helps anyone except them. Gone, but at our expense. And so many folks are just kind of like, let's see how bad it gets. Maybe it won't be that bad for me. It's like, oh my God. Oh, we need more pitchforks and boots.